Hey YouTube, my name is Clayton and I've been working on a project for the last, I would say 3 or 4 months regarding political parties in the United States. I won't give too much of an introduction and get right to the juicy stuff, but I am here to declare that US political parties are a 228-year-old bubble industry. Not only that, and I'm not just talking about Democrat or Republicans, I'm talking about all of it. Not only that, they are obsolete as a political mechanism. I'll break it down real. It's actually quite simple, and that's what makes a bubble. Is it's able to be popped. It's very obvious, but no one ever really sees it, and therefore can capitalize or turn it. So here's the argument broken down. It's very simple. Number one, political parties are not required by the U.S. Constitution. A lot of people don't know that because we've had them since John Adams, since the second president. But George Washington himself, the first president or founder of our nation, did not run on a political party and actually warned about it in his famous farewell address. So just putting it out there, and if you go into it, the stuff he talked about was foreign influence, division of people, a couple others if you want to look into it. But he goes into the dangers of political parties and the tribalism that comes from it. So that's one area, is it's not required. Second fact is, I'll go into the bubble part, which is social media, especially I would say post 2012, has made political parties obsolete as a technological or political item, pretty much. Because if you know history, here's where it goes back to, is right away after Washington, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson immediately started having heated, probably more heated than stuff that happens today even, hatred and debates with each other about foundational issues. Central versus state bank, states versus federal rights, a lot of those core issues and things in the beginning of the nation. And if you think back then, if you think about the voting populace, you're thinking about white men who own property. I believe that's all who could vote. And if you think about how they got their news from the printing press. And the printing press is only going to show, kind of similar today actually, the printing press is only going to show the two parties because those are the ones, and after the second and third, it was a snowball that just kept on rolling. And so you had that mechanism where the news controlled the information, and it's almost impossible for a third party back in the day, or even quite recently, I would say probably till Trump in 2016 is when some independent movement came around. But even before that, there was almost no realistic way that someone was going to rise up as an independent, as a write-in candidate. And so that goes into the final part of this philosophy and this breakthrough in our political system is we could change this by maybe not midterms, because I do think there is a year. You have to register a year in advance if you want to be a write-in for a position. But by 2028, we could get rid of every single Democrat and Republican in the entire Congress, executive. Judicial would take some time because there's the life sentences, but if we change Congress and the executive branch, that could probably change fast too. So realistically, the legislature and the congressional branches, the legislative branch and the executive branch, we could change by 2028. So how that works is in 47 of the 51 voting districts, especially for president, this is what I'll go off as president and VP. 47 of the 51 voting districts, 51 because Washington, D.C. is its own voting district, allow write-ins. And the four that don't allow write-ins, I believe it's like Hawaii, Alaska, some states that they're not the most important. So 47 of the 51 states allow write-ins. You can register, whoever wants to be a write-in candidate can register a year in advance, and if their name's written on the ballots, it counts. That's law. That's in the, that's just how that's how it is. The state dictates the right on how to vote, and again, 47 of the 51 have write-ins. So it is possible. And what this would do a lot of things. I think I'm missing one other part. I forget. Again, this is my first run through. I was thinking about selling this idea, getting a celebrity to do it, but instead I think I'm just going to talk about it every single day. So in general, I think there was one other thing I was going to say, but it's a 228-year-old bubble of an industry. Oh, the technological part. So you're asking, okay, well, what would replace it? How is this not just a political party? So my idea is this, is instead of a political party, it's more of a menu. Like when you go to a restaurant and you see, okay, you got 3 pages worth, maybe 2 or 3 pages worth, and you get a menu. That's how it should be. And it's really simple. With modern technology, with social media, we're interconnected to everyone all the time. And so, like, let's say someone just became a streamer. Someone just started streaming, say, hey, I have a Patreon, GoFundMe, go ahead and vote for me. I'll be in the 47 states that allow write-ins. That would circumvent political parties, the primaries. There's no longer need for primaries. Foreign influence, they would have to hedge their bets, so it would actually take more risk off of corporations and donors. That's great. And then my idea for the menu was I would get a broad selection of people. So people who believed in abortion, people who didn't, people pro-immigration, pro-ICE. I would get all these different people, Republican, Democrat, you name it. Because right now there's too much division. And I would put on Lincoln Douglas style debates. I would probably say every few months, probably like once a season. I think once a season is accurate. And it would be all 10 of them. It would be intellectual, it would be formal, because even though I would say Trump, and this has been going on forever, but Trump just is like the highlight of it. He really is the reality star of politics. I mean, it's in his nature. I'm not even a fan of Trump, obviously now after Iran, but he knows how to work a camera. And so that's been the political industry since 2016, I would say 2016. But I think a lot of my generation, because that's all we're surrounded by in the media, is fake stuff, like fake reality show kind of BS. So I think our generation and a lot of people just in general who are disillusioned by the parties would like more dialogue between people with different beliefs. Because I think there are compromises that can be made that can help a lot of the division and separation in America. So yeah, this is kind of my first run through. I was going to the gym and I said, I can't wait anymore after Iran. My life's picking up as well, but I really wanted to finally declare after 4 months what I believe is a 228, because I found it last year, so 228-year-old bubble of U.S. political parties. I think they are completely obsolete now. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously naturally people are going to form their, people are going to go to the sides they want to go, but the effects of this. So here's the effects of this, is it allows voters to be more creative with their votes, because the number one problem right now with the voting system is lack of participation. Voters don't want to hear this, but all of this is our fault. I haven't voted because I don't believe in the red or blue parties. I've volunteered for independence every now and then. But at the end of the day, that's what makes America America, is we are able to vote the people we want to lead us instead of a monarchy or something. And so right now, the biggest problem is a lot of people just don't believe in the voting system. They think it's rigged. They think it can be stolen. They think there's no other options. They're tired of choosing the worst of two evils. I'm telling you, if you look up, like you can legitimately look up the definition of a financial bubble, let's say, and you're gonna see, I think it's overvaluation, overspeculation, overinflation, and herd behavior. I think those are the four for a financial bubble, and those couldn't have even done it better to label the energy in today's political voting class. So this would allow more creative with voting. I would say a new era of independence, which I think is much needed after the duopoly of the last 200 years. But I would say, like in my lifetime, I think the two-party system has been so bad, Democrats and Republicans. I mean, I was born in the mid 90s, and like I don't remember Bush that much, but I remember everything. The later years of Bush and then Obama, and it's just been a pendulum of shit going back and forth, and everyone feels it. Most people agree. If you, I think right now it's like 71% of people consider themselves more independent than the other, like one of the parties, but they choose the lesser of two evils. So I think that a lot of people would agree that there needs to be change. And if you want real change, like and what's awesome about this is a nonviolent, legal way to do this within 3 years, within 2 years even. I don't think it would work for the midterms yet, but you get this ball rolling, there's no stopping it. It completely implodes the political system because most people don't know there's politics and there's government. But because you've heard them so much combined, like, oh, the Democratic Party, the Democratic administration, the Republican administration, they're actually separate. And one of them is not required by the Constitution. And it's time for voters to take the power in their own hands and choose the candidates they want. I don't even care what kind. If you haven't noticed in this speech, I haven't said once to go for this policy or this thing or ideology or anything. I just want to be a catalyst for voters to think more about what they can do at the ballot box, because that's how you hit them. Especially now, because right now you look at financially that there's so much corruption. Let's go to 08. Where do we even start with that? Internationally, who knows about the influences there from all over, right? It has to be with votes and even violence. Like, I don't want violence, and this is non-violent. I don't want violence because, realistically, I don't want to be rude, but I think the U.S. military would probably win, and that's where it gets complicated, which I won't get into. But I don't want violence in the streets. So this is the way to hurt them, is to take down the biggest piece of what they have that's not legally required, and this is it. So that's my thesis. I wrote an essay about this. That's how it started after the shooting of Charlie Kirk. My background, as I've never liked either party. That says my upbringing and everything. But after Charlie Kirk is when I decided to get vocal about it. And I thought, I was like, it's kind of I declared the years before Charlie Kirk a cold civil war, which I stand by. We'll see if it gets hot. I hope it doesn't. And then I've never liked either party, and so I just said it out loud. I said it to someone I knew at the time, and I was thinking about just like scrapping the idea, and they said, no, like, this is passion you follow. So you know who you are. You know who you are. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about this every single day. I was thinking I could write it down. I can just talk about it every day because I have it locked down to a T. I made a PowerPoint. I was thinking about getting a celebrity involved, like a B-list or something, or selling it because, the money would be nice. But I decided that I'm going to head it. I'm going to lead it. And I'm starting right now. So if you agree, please like this video. I'm going to post this to my original channel where I kind of just experimented on YouTube. It's my personal channel. But I'm also going to make an official channel tomorrow is when it gets approved, called Pop the Party Bubble. I'm going to make it on Instagram. I'm going to make a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe I'm going to originally start at 1.5 million, which I know sounds like a crazy amount. And I'll be real, about 100K that I'm going to probably take for myself. I could use maybe not 100, maybe 50 if I really, probably 50 because I want this thing to really work. So I am going to take 50K to probably take care of some personal matters. But the rest of the money, what I want to do is launch this, but more so the menu like that. I would say the bubble is like me intellectually and just like my thesis and what I want to leave on the world. While the menu kind of like pseudo dialogue centered platform, that's pretty good. Pseudo dialogue political platform would be like for the GoFundMe and stuff. So if you agree, if you believe in this, please like, share to your friends. Again, I'm going to be posting this on my OG channel because I just want to get it out. I was on the way to the gym and I was like, I got to do it. I can't wait anymore. I got to do it. But I'm also going to post it on my new official channel that I'm going to make the official channel of this movement. I would call it a movement. So if you want to be a part of history, if you are more independent, if you want to be more creative with your votes, if you're tired of the outdated, obsolete, I can't say the word. I'm not the best with words, but the two-party system, the red and blue. Feel free to join, and I look forward to really getting the message out there. It's hard right now because there's a lot of violence. So I'm going to do most of it probably in-house, just once a day. Just hit this 15 minutes, done. But there will be times where I'll be out with maybe a selfie stick, or I've thought about doing signs too. But I've decided that I cannot wait. It's never going to be perfect. This is it. Political parties are no longer required. They're no longer, I would say, viable even. And it's an easy, simple, nonviolent way to change things like that. Oh, here we go. So what? Yeah, I think I went into most of the long-term like reasons why this will work, but I would say one of the reasons I like it so much is, again, the hedge. It makes, especially donors, but like a lot of corporations, they can just pick a side. And I think if we have more candidates, especially independents, they're going to have to think about their own values more instead of just pandering. And this includes politicians too, but I was thinking more the corporation side because that decides a lot of politics. It's going to have to make them think about where they want to put their investment, both emotionally, politically, financially, obviously. So yeah, this is Pop the Bubble. Thank you.